The Miami Heat is in its 29th season as an NBA franchise. We are a proud and elite NBA franchise, one of just 6 teams in the history of the NBA to have won at least 3 championships. And tonight, we honor and celebrate Shaquille O'Neal, who helped bring Miami and the Heat global appeal and our first NBA championship. It's our honor, yes. And you witness it all, Heat Nation. It's our honor right now to announce some of the special people that have accompanied Shaquille O'Neal here tonight, including and beginning with Letitia Roll, Shaq's daughter, Tahira O'Neal, Shaq's brother, Jamal Harrison, sister, Alicia Harrison, sister, Latifah Harrison, Uncle Jamal Crawford, Uncle Roy O'Neal, Uncle Bert Solomon, Aunt JoJo O'Neal, and Aunt Martha Corman. Welcome to all of you. And Heat Nation, I'd also like to introduce our honored guests on this side of the floor, including Managing General Partner of the Heat, Mickey Arison, CEO Nick Arison, General Manager and Senior Vice President of Basketball Operations, Andy Ellisberg, Vice President of Player Programs, Hall of Famer, Miami Heat legend, the Ultimate Warrior, Alonzo Mourning. A Heat original, the first head coach in the history of the franchise, current broadcast, and local favorite, Ron Rothstein. And the president of the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, Mr. John DeLeva. Welcome, everybody. Our Heat team is not out yet. Okay, at this time, we have some gifts for Shaquille O'Neal as we await for the arrival of the Miami Heat team. We have several gifts for Shaquille O'Neal. We begin with the Heat making a $50,000 donation to Shaq's Foundation, the Odessa Chambliss Quality of Life Fund. Yes, that makes the big fella smile. We also have a framed replica jersey banner, one that looks like the jersey that will hang shortly from the rafters. And finally, in honor of the way Shaquille O'Neal arrived in Miami on the afternoon of July 14th, 2004, we have a diesel-powered semi-truck for the Big Diesel, and Shaq's mom, Lucille O'Neal, is in the driver's seat. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Basketball Hall of Famer, the man who helped bring O'Neal to Miami, and the president of basketball operations of the Miami Heat, ladies and gentlemen, Pat Riley.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's a great night. I too again want to acknowledge Shaquille's mom, Lucille, and the Harrison family, and the clans, the aunts, the uncles, and I don't know where Jerome is, but he's the big protector. He's somewhere. And I just want to welcome them again here. I do have a gift for Shaquille, something I've been saving for a long time. If a lot of you remember back in 2006, we had a theme. It was called 15 Strong. And so I kept a few things for Shaq that I know he would like, and I'm going to bring them out tonight. That's what. You got a few of them. You have a few of them tonight. I don't know if we have a second half or not. June 20th. 2006, in the Dallas Maverick locker room, or in the arena, in our locker room, there were over 200,000 of these 15 strong cards that we collected and kept and we want Shaq and his family to have a few of them as a memento. Now, I knew he was a man who would all the time have practical jokes and do things, so I'm not going to turn my back on him right now, because I'll never know what's going to happen. But a great thing happened the first week of July, and Mickey Harrison and Madeline Harrison were in France. They were in the Med, and I gave Mickey a call, and I said, we have an opportunity to acquire a once-in-a-lifetime player. A once-in-a-lifetime player. Now, in the history of the NBA, there's always a lot of once-in-a-lifetime players, but there aren't many like this man. And he said, well, who? And I said, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's agile, he can score. And he said, well, who? I said, well, you know, he can run, he can dunk, he can laugh, he doesn't have any hair. And he said, well, who is that? I said, he's charismatic, he's global, he's iconic, okay? He'll make you laugh in a minute. And he said, well, who? And I said, he wears size 22 shoe. And he said, Shaq? I said, yes. He said, and we don't have to give up Wade. So, and he just screamed and he yelled and he was so happy. He said, we're going to really get Shaquille O'Neal. And I said, yes. And get ready to have him come over and visit you in the Med, because he wants to visit with you. We had to chop a bed in half, and we went over with Shaq and his family, and we had a great time. But once you have an opportunity to be a once-in-a-lifetime player and come to a team like the Miami Heat at that time that was knocking on the door, Shaquille O'Neal had a lot to do, as much as anybody, and probably more than most players did for the Heat in the prior years. With Zoe and Tim and a lot of the players that we had here knocking on the door in the 90s. We had a young player in Dwayne Wade. We had another very young player. Another very young player who is so respectful of Shaquille, and Udonis Haslem. We had our two young guys. UD. And we had a lot of very good, gnarly veteran players that we put together on that team, but we would not have won the championship in 2006 without the efforts of Shaquille O'Neal. Love the man. He simply is one of the greatest of all time. And when you have an opportunity to acquire a player like that can change your franchise and change your city and help you do something that you have desperately wanted to do for a long time, and that is to win a championship, and he delivered on that promise when he showed up on July the 20th in an 18-wheeler big semi-diesel in front of the American Airlines Arena. It's right over there, okay? And he got out of that 18-wheeler and he walked up the stairway to the American Airlines Arena with a bunch of water bazookas and getting all the fans all excited, and he said, I guarantee you and I promise you we will win a championship. And he delivered on that promise. Every night, to finish, every night before we would go out on the court, he'd sit next to me on the bench, and I would always wear a ring. And he would always rub my championship ring, and he said, Coach, we are going to get one of those. We are going to get another one of those. He's a great man. He's a great player. We are so honored tonight. We are so honored tonight to be able to do something we wanted to do for a long time. He is so deserving to be up there with Zoe and Tim Hardaway. And we want to raise right now Shaquille O'Neal to the rafters where he belongs at American Airlines Arena. that once-in-a-lifetime player, Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody.
That's all right. How's everyone doing? Thanks for coming out. I know this is my night, but I want to acknowledge one of my favorite players, a guy that hopefully his jersey will be up there one day. Udonis, come up here with me, Udonis. I just want to say thank you. You are the true definition of Miami. You're the true definition of a championship player, of a hard worker. And if it wasn't for you in 2006, we definitely wouldn't have that championship. So I just want to say thank you, brother. Appreciate you very much. Udonis Haslem, give it up. I want to bring up another guy, Alonzo Mourning. Come on up here, Alonzo. Come on up here, Big So. I remember when Pat called me in the office and said, hey, Zoe wants to come play. I said, let me think about it, Pat. Hell yeah. Come on. And, you know, I didn't have the best of finals, but you came in and you backed me up and you played unbelievable. I saw the determination in your eye that you wanted us to win. Again, thank you. I know I told you at the Hall of Fame I could have done it without you, but again, I want to tell you thank you. Appreciate you. When I came here in 2006, prior to that, I was watching Miami Heat play, I think it was Charlotte Hornets, and D. Wade, he was a fabulous player. And I wish he was here, but when I was getting traded from LA, I said if I want to play anywhere, I want to play in Miami. And I had a conversation with Pat, and we came down, and Mickey, the Harrison family, we went on a trip. I think we went to Rome. Yeah, we went to Rome. We had a good time, and I signed. So I want to thank the Harrison family. I want to thank the Heat organization, Pat. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody. It was great times. This was really unexpected. I got the text last year from Tim Donovan. Said we're going to retire your jersey. I thought it was one of my boys pranking me. I was like, stop playing. And then I called Pat, and it was just a great moment. The fans couldn't have done it without you in 2006. Give it up for you guys. I'd like to thank my family for coming out, my mother, my sisters, my daughter Tahira, my other kids are in LA. My son Sharif broke his hand, and one of my other daughters is in the tournament, and the other ones are just relaxing. But just want to also tell them thank you. And you know, Coach Riley, I couldn't have done it without you. You pushed us, and you pushed us, and you really pushed us. One more. Our team was so crazy. I remember coming in saying, Pat, the guys are partying on the beach, and you got us practicing at 10. Can you please move it back to 12? And he did, and we went on a roll. We was able to win, but, you know, Pat, you know, a lot of people think we have problems. We don't have problems. I love you, and I respect you. I respect this organization. I respect this family. And the day you decided to take over, I knew we were going to win. I knew we were going to win. And this man would do anything for this organization. Me, Udonis, and Alonzo seen him one day almost kill himself in the locker room. Pat comes in with an ice cold bucket of water, and he has a sheet. You know, he's big on stats. The world record of a guy holding his breath is 6 minutes. He held his head in that bucket for about 10 minutes. Me and UD was like, Pat, you all right? And he came up, see, we can do it, we can do it. So Miami, thank you guys, I love you guys. Spolstra, Harrison family, Mickey Madison. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Thank you.
For generations to come, now Miami Heat Nation could look up to the rafters and remember the greatest names in Heat history and also remember the greatest games in Heat history.